Namaste. So, welcome to Planet Earth. It's not as chaotic as it seems to be. There's things are happening, and it's definitely getting noisier, folks. And it's a good time to, make sure you drop into your breath and have a good routine for yourself, however that looks, whatever it works for you. There are many modalities that are available now, and more people are coming out as we move more into, I want to say, we're more comfortable with our sovereignty. We have voice these days. I mean, look at this technology that we can do, we can utilize, and make our ideas real and connect this way. Yeah, it's artificial, but it's a community. It brings us together. So it's not something that's bad. It's actually when we use the technology for the good, it's good, right? So not being so caught up and plugging in so much and taking that time during the day for stillness is so important at this time as the world continues to get noisier. And depending on where your focus is at, which if you're the type that wants to be in on what's going on in the world and connected that way with the news, you got to remember the news is brought to you by people who make lots of money. There are changes going on, not denying that at all. There's so much happening that it can become overwhelming to the nervous system. So, I'm very particular in how much present myself in these videos. It has to feel right because that is also part of the shift in becoming what people are pointing to be that new human, the new energies that are available that you can tap into and make it real on a moment to moment basis. So what's happening generally is that, I'm sure you're noticing is that the days are speeding up. It seems like time is going faster. Sometimes it slows down. Our concept of time, how we perceive the moment, seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, uh, we were born into a construct and it's been going on for a very long time with humanity, thousands of years. And we are now at the point, and this is the big shift. This is the quickening. This is the awakening. This is the quantum leap that is happening to humanity. Is that we're moving out of what most people know now is what's called the matrix. And, it brought us where we are now. So it's not a bad thing. It's just that, well, in so many, in a loose term, we overstayed our welcome in a way. So we don't need to be in a limited mode of being and experience the moment. Everything's happening now. You're born now, live now, and you will leave the physical body now. Your higher self, what is perceived in many religions, is God, creator, spirit, and we're here in the physical. And your spirit, your soul, all of who you are is always in the present moment. So what's happening with humanity is that we are now merging, and this is the quantum leap. This is the awakening. This is the grand awakening. Is that we are now merging with our divinity, with who we are at a soul level. So when it's happening, it's the adjustment that we need to make. It's the adjustment that takes practice. It takes focus. It takes the individual to not go along with the stream of chaos. Because as things are, as we move into this way of being, which is our natural way of being, it's bringing the heavens to earth. It's merging with our divinity. And as we do that, the world's getting noisier. So all the structures that were once, you know, very solid for us. I mean, everything you can think of, politics, governments, down to, how we run business, um, how we interact with each other as an individual, as creator beings. Everything's shifting. I used to say is that there's not one grain of sand that's going to be left untouched during the shift. Everything's shifting. And it's kind of like moving all of that stuff from the bottom of the ocean, if you will, and they get stirred up, a big wave comes, crashes, it's going to stir up the sand. And what's happening energetically. And so you don't need to get caught up in all of the chaos. You have free will, so you can sit there and watch the news, give your attention, have yourself riled up, um, you know, get yourself all stirred up emotionally. But we are emotional beings, so that can wreak havoc in your nervous system and generally in your overall well-being of your entire body, your physical body, emotional, mental, it all gets stirred up. So where your attention goes, energy flows. So it's so important at this time to make sure that you're not giving so much attention to the things. Once you know, and then you don't have to give so much attention to all of the unraveling of it. I mean, it's everything. It's obvious now. And we talked about this over a decade ago, if not more. Some of us have been at it for 20, 30, 40 years, depending on how long you've been in this form. And I know back in 19, when I published my book Soulship, that nothing was the same after that. And that's why it's like I had to do it. It was like this personified action that I took. It was definitely inspired action. But I was still moving out of that mode of working more with my brain than working with the divine intelligence that was through me. And so that was making a shift at the time. And so things have shifted and people are saying it too. I mean, you can hear it left and right. Is that since 2020, have not been the same. And I noticed it too. And it's as the shift started coming on the way and getting quicker, more and more into it, the intensity of it started changing. Of course, we had the lockdown thing that happened and the whole world. It wasn't just one sector of the world. It was everything. We have the weather that's changing. I mean, there's so much that's going on. Again, it can be overwhelming, but we shifted and it's moving faster now. Now, if you notice, that's why it seems like that the clock on the wall or even the calendar, yes, because it's all entwined, it doesn't match because us as humanity, we're changing so quickly into our new way of being that we're being brought to the present moment. And this is how we're going to be living. And the calendars are going to change. By beginning of 2030s, we don't know, no one really knows because it changes with what we're doing now, right? So what we call the future is changing what we're doing now. The new now present moment. When I started this video, we're different now than we were when we first came in here. Every second we're changing so fast. And so we have this construct of time and space so that we can live the physical existence. But what's happening now is the merging with our divinity, bringing the heavens to earth, if you will, is that now we're moving out of that time and space concept. So even the seasons don't match. That's why everything's changed. Like the weather's reflecting it. The seasons don't match. Like, it's like it does, but it doesn't. It shifts on and shifts off. So, if you're listening to this video, you're already aware, obviously, of what's going on. Maybe you're not, and you're going, wait, things have been different. I've been noticing something. And this is the grand awakening that's happening to all of humanity this time around. So those of us who started our awakening and then we moved into our knowing, we're aware, we wake up out of what's called the matrix, and then, the masses, the rest of the people are not. And we've been living like this for a long time now. But now, in this year, what we call 2025, and even that's changing. I use my words loosely because It's like paradox now. Everything, we live in a paradox, just living in duality. But our concept of time and space, our consciousness, and how we perceive reality, ourselves, and our place in physical, this physicality is all shifting, and it's becoming real, and it's a wonderful thing. It's just that as it's going on, you're going to notice that things are going to get louder. I used to say, it's like, well, militaries aren't just going to put down the guns and the bombs, go, oh yeah, you're right, guys, we're done with that, and walk away. Or the people in power, above over the people, creating laws, and and having power over the sovereignty of the masses. They're not going to go, yeah, you're right. Yeah, this shift is underway. I've been noticing it. You're right. And just walk away. No, it's going to get louder. It's going to get more chaotic. You're going to see things come to pass that you're like, how is this happening? It's already occurring. I'm not saying anything you're not noticing. Um, but those of us who really have come into our sovereignty and are present, more present than we are, uh, I would say victims. I dance around my words sometimes. Words are very important. We create as we speak. It's not that I don't go to time and calendar and clock. I have to. I work a job. And I have a business that I run, and there's scheduling and places you have to do and meet people in meetings. It's just that while I'm doing it, I'm present. It's really that simple. Just being present now in this moment. Nowhere to go, not where to reach to, either forward or backwards. Everything's happening now. So there's a purging that's coming out of the collective, and it's being reflected in the changing of the politics. I mean, there's people in power that you may not be agreeing with right now. There's a lot of things shifting. The old structures are crumbling. Castles in the sand, basically, is what's happening here. These castles in the sand. And we're becoming more sovereign, like we're coming into a community mentality, so that no one above, no one below. And those who like power and to like those constructs are really not liking the fact that this is happening. They're not going to go with the rest of this. They're going to move on their momentum. They have a momentum, they have to play it out. It really is that simple. You have to step aside and go, okay, once you know, then you don't need to feel like you need to get loud about it. I mean, at that, you're sovereign. You have free will. So you can do it however you feel like you want to do it. You can react to this however you react to it. But it's more of, being present is so important because you have more of a choice point. Your choice point changes. So you can stop, observe, and then choose a course of action. So you're not being brought down the raging river, metaphorically, of the uh, fighting for limitations. And that's basically what's happening. We had plenty of time, if you will. And again, I'm using my words loosely. We had plenty of time to prepare ourselves for the shift. It's just that I knew very well the masses were not going to be uh, coming along until really it's like end of the line. You can't go any further. It's like the Monopoly game. You can't pass go, collect 200. You're not being sent to jail. You just can't go any further along with how you've been doing things if it's not in alignment with your higher self, with your soul. And you've always been co-creating. We've been doing it for eternity. We're co-creators. We're not just doing this alone. And so that's the awakening that's happening to the human race, is that we're now we're not moving in our lives just individually, like we're alone together. It's a massive awakening that we all are souls in a physical body. So this is a big thing. It's not something you can just snap your finger You're like, oh, it's just over yet. I mean, I have my moments, don't get me wrong, because I'm human too. I mean, it's just being real. It's like you have to be gentle on yourself, being gentle on others, and then you build up a new momentum. It takes practice, you know, you start seeing results and moving and working, not working because it's like working with gravity. We don't work with gravity. Gravity just is. So there's a force that governs everything. And once you understand that your thoughts create your emotions, your thoughts create your reality. It manifests what's in your life, how you think and how you perceive yourself and what you're willing, if you will, again, using my words loosely, to put up with. Because not everybody's, you know, in a state where they're just gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna let this go. Just one moment, I'm gonna put this on pause for a second. I have to do something. Okay, yeah, I just had to attend to something there. So I guess in general, why I'm making this video is to pop in, say hello. Um, you know, so I don't have anything written down. It's not like I'm reading from anything. It's just coming right from my heart here, and just to give a message of uh, appreciation for you, for what you're doing, and because every single one of us are here at this time for a reason. We're alive at this time. We chose to be here for this expansion, and well, to share our love and our light with those around us, even if you don't do anything in the public. Like you don't use this technology to make videos or to, express yourself, write things, post things, whatever you use social media for in a way that you're, expressing yourself that way. Just, yeah, being polite, holding your space, enjoying each day that it comes. And it does get easier as you move in a way that feels good for you. You're not, uh, giving into things that are going to stir up your emotions. It's going to cause havoc in your nervous system because it's all about you. It's all about taking care of how you feel and making sure you're tending to your garden of thoughts. Like, you planting seeds, thoughts that feel good. You don't have to think everything that comes across your mind. And it does take practice. And it takes a big deal to make sure that you care about how you feel. Because every time you think those thoughts and a thought that you know that doesn't feel good, you can change that. You can change, what you're giving your attention to in your mind. So, and that's coming into alignment. That's abiding to, the natural way that you should be feeling. That's alignment. There's the saying that everything's about timing. It's more about that's half the equation. It's all about alignment with your soul, with your higher self, with the larger part of you that's co-creating with you. And then the timing works out perfectly. It's moving more with the body and the sensations that's going happening in your physical body than what your mind and that's you know that's telling you in your mind and what you should be thinking, paying attention to. It takes focus. And then after a while, it gets better. It gets easier. And I know there's a lot of you that's been doing this for a while now. Some of you watching this video, some of you are my clients, some of you have been with me for a while, family maybe watching this, friends, in places maybe I've never met you and you've watched some of my stuff or read my books or, you see me and, on social media or whatnot. Uh, but we are a a being that came here for happiness and for to be in a state of contentment. We're not meant to uh, be in a way that's detrimental to ourselves. We're meant to experience this physical world that we created a long time ago. Wording, careful with the words there, but Uh, Once upon a time, we created this space in a vibrational way, and we did this together. We, as a collective, were representations of the unity of the divine force. And at our core essence, we are all one. We just happen to take up a physical body, and then we have a personality, we have a persona, we have a mask. Uh, but we're coming to the age of being real, moving out of anything that we were once experienced. I mean, this is a brand new territory. We're walking a path that's never been walked before. So being gentle with the self and others, you're going to find as you build up more of that momentum, that your days are going to be more gentle. And you're going to see it. You're going to find that because the outside world reflects what you're doing within. So you're going to find other people and circumstances, events, places, and all that. Everything's going to match that uh, calmness, that you know, say dignity. It's more of like it's a casual, soft, gentle way of moving through life. You know, as the world becomes more louder, noisier, coming undone, if you will, you can hold your center and be in a state of grace. And that's exactly it. We now have these neutral energies available so that you're reaching for things that are going to bring you to a lower vibration. It really, in general, to sum all of this up, I guess the best my ability is that as you stay up in a higher vibration, if you keep raising up, I mean, you're going to drop from time to time, but it's not going to be as drastic and as extreme as it was in your life before. Uh, I know this to be true because I'm living it. I'm seeing the results and how life is happening. And things are not happening to you, it's happening for you. So whatever occurs and you're like, oh, I don't like that, you stop. Again, you were saying earlier, is that you stop, observe, and then you choose a course of action. Well, I don't want to feel that way anymore. I don't want to go down that road. I mean, for instance, I just got chosen to do a jury duty. You know, it's a duty you have to do in the United States. I don't know how other countries are, but you know, the courts will give you a summons, and then you'll have to go in and represent if you get called to do it. Yeah, of course, you have to call a number the night before and see if you have to come into the courtroom. And I would fight it. It's like I'd be like, no, I'm sovereign. I don't want to do that. It's not part of my, you know, belief system to judge another human being, to be in a panel to do that. But here in America, you know, they say, oh, that's your American right duty to do. You know, it's a good thing to do. And I feel like it's not part of. It's no offense to anything. I'm not fighting anybody or saying that that's wrong. I just personally don't really feel it's something I like to do. But now I'm like, wait a second here. It's every little thing that is happening. And I'm just using an example because it happened yesterday. Um, is that I looked at it and going, at first, my first reaction is, no, I'd rather not. But then immediately I'm like, no, there's something here. You know, things are happening for us. I mean, I'm getting pulled out of my work that I do, you know, to go down to do something like that. So who knows? I mean, something could have happened, you know, could be happening at the moment that I'm somewhere else. I'm at jury duty instead of being where I'm, you know, meant to be otherwise. So, or I'm supposed to be otherwise. That if something happens and it brings you to a place or space within yourself or something you have to do, and you're like, I'd rather not, you stop and go, there's something here. There's definitely something here that is happening. It may not be something so obvious. I mean, it might not be like, you know, so known to you that's like, there's a reason why. Sometimes you don't know the reason and you don't have to. You just trust and it's beyond trust. You just have a knowing that there's a reason why that happens. There's a reason why things are happening. And it's beyond any control. We're letting go of control, uh, the stronghold of the ego, which is all wrapped around in the personality. It's like we're taking off the mask. It's not we're losing personality. We're actually gaining more of who we are. Uh, we're becoming human, more human. We're becoming human because everybody's at different stages of this. And we're becoming more than and accepting our humanness. And then at the same time, accepting that we're divine beings. But we're here in this body for a limited time. And then we get rushed up into our higher self again when we leave the physical body. And we're eternal beings. We have opportunities to, be and do and experience anything we want. So the grand awakening's on, the shift is on. And again, point of this video is to really just say a heads up. It's okay what's happening here. There's going to be times when they shake and quake in you. There's going to be things you're not going to agree with. Downfalls of organizations and governments, some that you thought that were good. You're starting to see the lifting of the veil on that. What's really that's the taking off the mask, and it's not just the individual. Well, it's happening at the individual level, which is affecting the masses. So it's happening to each one of us. It's like ready or not, here we come. Ready or not, it's happening. It's happening. And some of us are more aware of it than others. We're all awake. I mean, we're all consciousness, but there's different stratas and levels of that awareness of who we really are at the core level. And it's happening, and it's exciting. It's an exciting time to be alive. You'll have your moments throughout the day when you're like, I'm done. If all else, eventually I'm going to leave this body. So nothing serious is going on at any given moment, although it can shake and quake you up. So it's just a heads up there is that being gentle with the self, being gentle with others, being gentle with the changes that are happening. And I always like to say, to leave you off on this one, is that when you've done everything in your power and there's nothing that you can do anymore, you leave it up to the higher powers to take over. And you have a trusting and knowing, the trust and faith. That's what faith is. It's faith is the core of your being. You know that there are greater forces at work that are taking care of things. And you just sit down and sit and relax back the best to your ability. And you just allow things to change, and tomorrow will come. And yeah, so again, there's so much to talk around all this. And generally, I have the same message when I give it. I just want to come in and say hi and recognize and give you a thumbs up and recognize what you're doing in the world. Even again, if it's not something that you're putting yourself out there, you're just living a very simple life. And it's not just you're here and being alive and being present in these times is the most awesome thing that you can do. There's nothing you need to do. And I've heard it too from other people is that people are changing. They're not the same anymore. It's like there's nobody there. It's like they're hollow inside. People don't care anymore. It's like the soul's gone out of things. I mean, I've heard it left and right of all this. It's kind of like a dark way of looking at things, and that's not what's happening. What's happening is that which needs to go. It needs to go. If it doesn't align with the higher frequencies, it's got to go. And so it's a change again. It's a change in which we've never experienced before. So we didn't know what it was going to look like. Now we do. We don't really know where it's going, but we know that it's incredible. And once you tap into this and you really connect with your heart space, even during your time in meditation, your quiet times, you get filled with everything's well. All is well. It really is. Everything's moving accordingly. Everything's on schedule. I'm not an astrologer, but if you notice astrology, if you pay attention to any of that stuff, it's a blueprint and it just shows what is happening at the divine level is that everything's moving. It's just miraculous, unbelievable astrological transits happening right now. And it's just matching with what the fairies of the universe, what the gods are doing, what is happening in the invisible, and what we call the spirit world, and we can now see it. I mean, there's cycles ending where it's so uh, billions of years of cycles ending right now. So again, it's a path we've never walked before. We don't really know what it's all going to look like, but we're now getting a little taste of the unfolding that's happening now. Year 25, again, I wrote about it in my book Soul Shift, is that this is the year where things are going to change. And again, when I say I use those words loosely because even when they say this is the year, our concept of time, of what a year is even changing. If you want to look at the new calendars, I mean, 12 was a reset, 13 was zero, 14 was year one. So we're in, I believe, year 11 now. So it's not 2025. If you want to put a year or time on something, we're actually in year 11. But even that is going to disappear because we're being present. Again, it's a path we've never walked. We don't know how it's going to look as we move into each moment to moment to moment. You know, past is disappearing. Our future is the present moment. So how we perceive time and space and everything about ourselves is all shifting. And again, it's something we don't know, and that's okay. It's a softening. It's a softening in the heart space. So it's coming, literally coming home to yourself in a grand way. And to recognize that each human, our brothers and sisters, everyone that is involved in this, that's here at this time, is that we are ancient beings. We've been doing this for a very long time. Even the ones you feel like maybe old souls or new souls or whatever, it doesn't matter because everyone that's alive right now chose to be here for this expansion. And not everyone's going to stay, as the things move along here, as we move further and further into this grand awakening. And it's not just that, but you know, meeting our cosmic families too. And it's all happening from the inside out. So with that being said, I'm going to leave you off on that. And I do appreciate you. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everything that you're doing. And until next time, namaste. Thank you.